you went to prison, right?
Yeah.
For how long?
I got 2 separate charges. The first one was 10 years, so I was suspended, but 18 months.
10 years. Tell me about your, growing up. You said your mum was addicted?
She still is. My dad was an alcoholic. My granddad was also an alcoholic, and then my grandma used to drink a lot. So my mom drinks a lot, but she also...
So how did you break the addiction cycle?
Because, I have a strong mind. I don't do what other people do still to this day. I watch people. I never even smoke weed.
That's crazy because all black people have, apparently, according to social media. Hi, guys. Welcome back. So today I have a very interesting interview for you. But before I get there, I just want to give a big shout out to our sponsor today, who is Bureau. If you don't know who Bureau is an amazing co-working space. If you're looking for somewhere to work and you want some peace and some good Wi-Fi, this is definitely the spot. They're located in Osu, so definitely head over, check out their Instagram page and make your way over here. Now, back to today's interview. So today I have with me Jasonus. Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. So I really wanted to speak to you because I feel like the last time I had you on my podcast, there were so many things that we didn't get to speak about concerning your journey to Africa and how you ended up coming here. Because, okay, so first of all, let me start with, are you Ghanaian or are you African?
I'm African-American. I'm mostly Nigerian.
You have to put your mic up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, no, I'm African-American, but I'm mostly Nigerian and Cameroonian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so why have you chosen to move to Ghana?
I was tired of America.
Okay. What were you tired of?
Shoot. Where do I start? I just never felt like I belonged there. I always felt like I was an outsider in America. I don't know if it was my upbringing, the people I hung around, or just society. I just never felt like I belonged. And
Okay.
once I first came here in 2021, that was it for me.
So, but why Ghana specifically? Why didn't you go to Nigeria or somewhere else?
I don't know. So, right around when COVID was happening, I don't know how I ran through. It was called the God Box. So when I first came, I came with the God Box tour, and I met Ron Dalton and all of them. You know, the Hebrews and Negroes guy, and it was the whole lead up to it was weird. It was just weird. I never even heard. I never really cared about coming to Africa.
Right. Okay.
And then right around COVID, it felt like I just needed to come.
Okay. So you felt some type of pull to come here.
It was a spiritual journey.
Right.
Why I initially came.
Okay. But you haven't been here very long. How long have you been in Ghana right now?
This time since November the 2nd.
So that's a month, a solid month you've been here.
Yeah.
And you just packed up
Yeah.
and moved here.
Yep, sold my car and everything.
You did?
Yeah.
And how did you transport your stuff?
What, you mean my suitcase and stuff?
Your whole life from America. How did you bring it?
I just brought clothes and shoes, but
And you left everything else?
I sold my TV and stuff, and I got more clothes and shoes. I just at my mom's house.
Okay.
But as far as my car, I was gonna ship it, but it cost too much, so I sold it. Yeah.
So do you feel at peace now that you're here?
Yeah, but still, I got to work on my patience. You know, because
Yeah, Ghana will teach you some stuff.
everything in America is whenever you want it, you can get it. So,
I get that. So I want to talk a little bit more about your journey before you got here, because I feel like that's a very interesting story, okay?
Okay.
So back in the day, you used to play American football, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did that come about?
Well, I started playing football in high school.
Okay, in fact, before I just go there, because you actually went to prison, right?
Yeah.
For how long?
28 months.
What happened?
A lot of things that happened. I was messing with this girl. She used to boost. I don't know if you know what boosting is.
No.
So she just go to the store, empty bag, put stuff in it.
Right.
And so I started going with her, and she got into credit card stuff. And of course, I was with her.
Right.
And at that point, she had a 3-year-old son, and finally got caught. And I just pretty much took the blame for everything.
You took the blame for everything?
Well, I didn't. I was basically living on the road from hotel to hotel. I was like, I can't have this girl going to jail. She's a single mom with a little 3-year-old. She's 21 now, but yeah. So.
Wow. Did she also go to jail?
No, she didn't go. I got 2 separate charges. The first one was 10 years, all suspended, but 18 months.
10 years.
It was election year in Baltimore, Maryland. So,
Woo.
yeah.
So would you have done 10 years for this woman?
Nah, because it was my first time of getting in trouble, so I knew it wasn't going to be nothing crazy. So they gave me 10 years, also suspended, but 18 months. And I was in prison at 9 months at this point, and they brought me back for another charge in Baltimore County. They gave me 5 years, all suspended, but 3. So that 3 years ate up to 18 months. So I ended up doing 28 months on 36 months.
Wow. And how old were you then?
28.
20. Had you started your football career?
It already started, and like a month after I worked out for the Green Bay Packers, and they was like talking about signing me. A week after I got locked up, they called my agent. His name Tom Hunter. He's still a lawyer in Hampton, Virginia. They wanted to sign me, but I was already locked up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you not feel like you sacrificed too much for someone that perhaps you didn't really know that well because she was only a girlfriend, right?
She wasn't even my girlfriend like that. I met her.
She wasn't even your girlfriend.
I met her at the Boys and Girls Club. She was tall and dark, and she was pretty. I was stupid.
Gosh, you were stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So what was your time in prison like? What did it make you think about?
It's basically it's just a warehouse full of men. It's dangerous, super dangerous. I never felt like I belonged there. But I had met this dude in city jail before I actually went to prison. His name was Sean, and he was locked up for child support.
Right.
And he's always like read the Bible with me. I didn't understand it,
Yeah.
And once I finally got sentenced in November 2007, they sent me to Hagerstown, which is like a medium 2. So I was locked up with lifers, murderers, attempted murderers.
What?
Freaking bank robbers. Yeah.
Wow.
I was in there for a little. It was a felony.
Yeah.
It's a misdemeanor now. I don't even have a felony no more. It's a misdemeanor.
What?
Yeah. So it was basically for $1,700. I got 5 years for $1,700.
That sounds crazy. Like, do they not? It just feels like there's bigger things to go to prison for. Obviously, yes, you did wrong, but it feels like there's bigger things that have gone to prison for and taken away that much of your life.
Election year, these prosecutors and state's attorneys, they like to look tough on crime. So they lock people up. I remember my prosecutor, it's a black lady. Her name was Sherry Green. I used to write her and stuff. And she was agreeing to let me go if I actually got a contract. Ain't no NFL team giving you a contract locked up. So it was all bad. I started not liking black women from there.
Really?
That's why I started messing with white girls.
Really?
Yep.
Why? Why is this a black woman issue?
Because I just felt like, I grew up with all girls and stuff, right? I just felt like I always sacrificed for women.
But did she ask you to do that?
I mean, no. But when I care about somebody, I would. And then she was pregnant, so I thought the baby was mine.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
but she told you that the baby was yours?
She told me, and then I'm in prison. Like guys get pictures and stuff in prison.
Yeah.
She sent me a picture, so I was showing it to my bunk buddy. He was like, bro, I know her. So that pissed me off.
Yeah.
So he started telling me stories about her and stuff, and she ended up having 2 more babies while I was in jail, and she told me the baby wasn't mine.
Wow.
And 8 years ago, she found me again and told me, that's how I got a 16-year-old daughter. She told me she wasn't my daughter, and then I had to do a DNA test in 2008. The guy that she was with left her.
Right.
And her name is Jada. She told Jada, he's not your dad.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on, this just sounds like a soap opera. I'm sorry, it sounds like a soap opera. It sounds absolutely crazy. So
crazy.
she told you, at the beginning, you thought the baby was yours. She told you it was yours, and then she said it wasn't.
And then she said it wasn't, because I wasn't the only guy she was messing with. I didn't know that.
So then later when you found out the baby was actually yours, and so you found out you had, how old was your daughter when you found out she was yours?
She was 8 years old. She's 16 now.
Wow.
So I flew to Baltimore. I did a DNA test and stuff, and she was mine.
Wow.
Anyway,
so do you feel like you lost a lot of time, because obviously your time spent in prison, your time away from your daughter? Do you feel like you lost a lot?
Yeah and no, because I think that's kind of, how people go to prison and be like, that's when I found God. I really think I did, because I spent most of my life running because you know when you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
Like your spirit convicts you, right? I just kept running, and I felt like he said, "I'm gonna lay you down, and do you hear me now?"
So did you resent when the time that you were in prison? At any point, did you resent your decision to have gone to prison for somebody else?
I did for a while because I was like, man, like I'm 42 now. I was like, I could have been retired, like maybe going to the Hall of Fame in the NFL. I never got the chance,
Wow.
So
what about your parents? What did they say when you got this time?
Well, my daddy old school. He's like, he don't feel sorry for you. His words, your dumb ass did it. And my mom, she's a mom.
Yeah.
So she was sad, but my daddy just shouldn't have did it.
Yeah.
He's right. I shouldn't have did it.
So tell me about your growing up, because I remember you mentioned, because we've spoken before this, right? And you said your mom was addicted.
She still is, but she's a functional addict. Like my mom worked like 60 hours a week.
So explain. Maybe some people don't know what's a functional addict.
Like a lot of people on drugs, they do crazy stuff to get money. My mom has an actual job, health insurance, has her own car, own apartment. She just been smoking crack since the 80s when it hit our neighborhoods. But she slowed down a lot, but she's functional. She goes to work. When she get off, she gets high and drink, go to sleep, wake up and do it again.
Really?
But yeah, so growing up was tough. We didn't have lights, water. Sometimes we didn't have food. So when I was in high school, I made sure I went to school because if I didn't go to school, I wouldn't have nothing to eat.
Wow.
It ain't wow.
That's really sad. So I'm an empath, right? So when you're talking, it's affecting me because I feel the pain. Like I know you're like laughing stuff off, but I'm actually feeling the pain because I'm looking beyond your laughter. And like you're a child, and to have to deal with that's quite a lot,
Yeah, it's crazy because like my grandma took my little sister, who's 39, and my grandma's sister, my Aunt Estelle, took my other sister. So I was stuck with my mom. They had a better life than me.
Wow.
So I felt like by my mom being an addict, the things she went through, I went through too.
Yeah, of course, but you did.
Yeah. So it was like rough seeing her like going through stuff because whenever she needed help, there was no one there. But when she had money, you see all these people around. Still to this day, when I go, when I'm at home, I cuss them out. Like, I'm gonna get away from my mama. Like, you wasn't there when she was struggling, needed help.
Yeah.
But now she's doing way better.
Good. I'm really glad to hear that. So do you feel like at some point you almost wanted to try what she was trying? Because obviously it must have been some type of escape for her, right? To be able to do that. Do you feel like you wanted to, were you tempted to try it?
I don't even drink, like, cause my dad was an alcoholic. My granddad, like my mom's dad, was also an alcoholic. And then my grandma used to drink a lot. So my mom drinks a lot, but she also,
how did you break the addiction cycle?
Because like I have a strong mind. I don't do what other people do still to this day. Like I watch people. When I was in college, I had a girlfriend named Celia Monroe. She told me, she said, I learned from other people's mistakes. I thought it was the dumbest thing ever because I wasn't mature mentally then. I was like, how do you learn from other people's mistakes? So, I always watch people and I try to do what they don't do. You know?
Yeah.
So I just never done a drug. I never even smoked weed.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy because all black people have apparently, according to social media.
Well, I know. I don't do it. I don't have a problem. Because, I live in Colorado. Everybody smoke weed. The doctors, the lawyers. But I don't.
Okay. So tell me about your football career. So you came out of prison and then what happened?
So we were still doing the VCR tapes then. So I would just I went online and I found addresses and coach's name. And I sent them my highlight tape from the last, time I was playing. And his name is Dan Mashayshak, Coach Magic. He called me out in Wyoming. And he bought me a plane ticket. And I went out there. I landed there February 28th, 2010. And I spent about 6 years in Wyoming, off and on, between Wyoming and Colorado. And he pretty much gave me another chance, to get my career back started. So after the first season I played with him in 2010, I led the whole league in touchdowns, catches, and yards, straight out of prison.
Yeah.
And the CFL, Canada, at that point, they had 8 teams. They wanted to sign me, but I couldn't. At that time, I still had a felony. You can't get in Canada with no felony, DUI, nothing. You know, they strict.
Wow.
So I was stuck playing indoor pro football instead of getting back outside to make more money.
So when they signed you with a contract, so they bought you for a certain amount of money?
It's a year. Like, those arena leagues, they all have base pay, but they also pay people under the table.
Okay.
So
what was your base pay?
shit, it's only $250 a week, but you get free housing, free food. But it's basically to get more film, so you can either go to the CFL or the NFL.
Okay.
I kind of made a career out of it. I was around all these people gonna be like, oh, he's racist. All these white people in Wyoming.
Yeah.
And I loved it. You know, like, that's when I started messing with white girls.
Right.
Because they was way different. You know, like, being I was a felon at that time. They didn't judge me. They wanted to help me. Their dad helped me get jobs, and I was like, this is crazy. I go around black folks, they ostracize you. Like,
really?
yeah.
No, but okay. So let me play a bit of devil's advocate here. So do you think that maybe you had a bias towards black women because this one black woman had potentially put you in prison for something you didn't do?
This ain't even got nothing to do with the women part. It's just, first off, there ain't no black women in Wyoming. It's like 2.
Okay.
Like, it was like 2. And they was dating somebody, so I had to date somebody. But nah, it was just being around. Wyoming is like 500,000 people, and 99% of the state is Caucasian.
Right.
And they didn't judge me at all. Like, it was kind of shocking. I never even heard of Wyoming. Even though you took geography in school, you never paid Wyoming no mind. And I end up in Wyoming, and these people, like, they basically went to bat for me. If I needed something, they helped me.
Wow. And you feel like black people wouldn't necessarily give you the same amount of help?
I mean, like I try to borrow something, you know, from my own people. They wouldn't give it to me. Then I go to the white folks. They just give it to you. Give it back when you can. They just straight say no. So
I noticed earlier on we were talking, and you said that now you like to date black women. You want a black woman, right?
Yeah.
So what was the turnaround there for you?
It was Bible stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, because, like, I told you, like, once I got circumcised, like, my brain I swear, it just flipped. And I got into the Bible more and more. And, you know, like, I don't know if you noticed, but in the Bible, God told his people, because he has a chosen people, to not mix with other nations. Okay. But our ancestors still was hard-headed, and they mixed with other nations. So at this point, I was dating a girl, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, I care about her, but I'm not supposed to be with her. So I was kind of like self-destructing the relationship because it was uncomfortable. Right. Because at the same time, I got the Bible and tried to teach her stuff. She wasn't really hearing it, you know? Yeah. So I felt like I didn't belong no more. And then the more and more I learned about it, I just got away from it. Like, they still my friends, but as far as, like, relationships, I can't do it no more. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Because I know I see your Instagram, and I know that you're really proud of what you've done with football. Yeah. How long did you play for?
So I got out in 2009. I started playing in 2010. I stopped in 2017, and then one of my old coaches wanted me to play again. So I played like 6 games last year in Rapid City, South Dakota. Okay. So I pretty much stopped playing in 2017. I'm not going to count last year.
Okay. So do you feel like your career was somehow cut short because of what had happened? Do you feel like you had been kind of pushed to the side because of your past?
I feel like it was supposed to happen. You know, it took me a long time to come to grips with it. You know, because, you know, as humans, we just selfish. Like, even though we say we're not, like, we just selfish. I was like, man. Even when I look at football sometimes, I'd be like, oh, that could have been me. Like, back in years ago, I would have been mad. But I'm like, God had a different plan for me, and I'm okay with it.
Okay. So do you believe that part of that plan was for you to move to Ghana?
I do. Because, like, I know you don't, like, nobody ever see me out, but I'm always, I talk to random people. I kind of carry my Bible everywhere. I don't know Tree, so, you know, I kind of try to talk really, really slow, but I get super excited. But I be teaching, you know, because most people here Christians or either Muslim. Yeah. So most of them don't even know the Bible. So I be teaching them stuff, you know, to get them away from all that paganism. Okay. Because me personally, based off what I learned in the last, 9 years, the Bible said God doesn't hear your prayer if you keep sinning. You know, so he said he was going to hide his face from you. This is certain people that he gave his laws, statutes, and commandments to. So it ain't for everybody. You know, like, I'm getting off topic here, but you know, like John 3:16 when it says, for God so loved the world. Yeah. Based on the way we was conditioned, we think the world means the whole earth. But the New Testament was translated from Greek to English, which means you got to go back and get the original meaning. The word world in Greek means government, cosmos, or people. So if you change that word, for God so loved the people, then you're like, what people is he talking about? Then you go Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. God said, for thou art a holy people that I choose myself to be a special people above everybody else. And then they be like, it makes people mad. But Christ said himself in Matthew 15:24, I was only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So when you hear the word Israel, we think, oh, it's that little country that was started in 1948. Nah, it ain't that country. It was Jacob. Jacob was renamed to Israel. He had 12 sons. His 12 sons became the progenitor, and he had one daughter, Dinah. Like the Elway, which you are, they are a mix of the 12. Gad come from Gad, the Gad Adangbi tribe. It's Gad and Dan. The Shanti, they are Judah. You know, then you got the Igbo. They come from Erie. Erie is the son of Gad. Then you got Zebulun, Asher. Like, I'm not going to get into all that. But so, like, that's the type of stuff I be on. And that's why I initially came to Ghana in 2021. Yeah. So on the spiritual journey, I was in Cape Coast first. And I left the tour because I was like, they're not doing it. So me and a couple other friends, we just came into the city.
So what did your family say when you said that you wanted to pack up and move to Ghana?
Well, my mom don't care because I just think naturally I'm a nomad. I don't ever stay anywhere long. Yeah. But once I came here, I actually felt like I finally belonged somewhere. I mean, I ain't went nowhere else in Africa. Like, that can change, but just coming here, I felt like I belonged.
Now, I know you made a pretty huge sacrifice to be here, right? Yeah. Because you were getting a pretty decent salary. Yeah. How much were you making over there in the States?
Well, on the average, I was making between $3,000 and $5,000 a week.
Oh, a week?
A week.
Not a month?
No, it was a week.
And you decided to give that up for Ghana?
Because that's oil and gas. The company is called Schlumberger. I think they're actually here, and Halliburton. So they're like the two biggest oil field companies in the world. I was a supervisor trainee. We just go to drilling rigs and hook up like the drill pipe to like pump trucks and big old silos that have sand in it. And when they drill the well, we pump actual cement in it to close the well so no gas and stuff will escape and blow stuff up.
I mean, I want to speak for the people. They're going to say you're crazy. How can you give up basically almost $20,000 a month to just be comfortable in Ghana? Is that not crazy? You don't think so?
No, I don't. Because me personally, I feel like I can make money anywhere. I think my peace is more important.
So your peace is worth more than $20,000 a month?
Yeah. You know, but sitting here sometimes, I'd be like, man, you know, that's a lot of money. Yeah. But I worked all the time. Like, I literally worked 140 hours a week.
Wow.
You know there's only 168 a week. Like, we was on call, so we got 15 days on, you get 6 days off. Right. So at any point in the day, they can call you, be like, hey, Jasonus, we need you at the yard. Rigs, such and such is called. So.
Wow. So do you have money saved up in order to finance your lifestyle here?
Oh, yeah.
Or are you working? Are you doing something while you're here?
Well, I still get paid a little bit from my job, but I save money. I don't spend that. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't get girls my money. I used to.
Really?
I was stupid. Yeah.
I love how you're so honest. I was stupid.
Yeah, I was. I give it to them. They spend it on other guys. Yeah, that was. My mom used to get mad. Yeah. But that's just the type of dude I've always been.
Would you say you're sensitive? I know some guys find that disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful, and I am. That's probably why I'm mean sometimes. It's a defense mechanism. Okay. And I never understood until I heard Tupac say it. Tupac said, I'm mean because I'm sensitive. Right. I grew up around all women. So you're going to pick up some women traits. As much as I don't want to say that. Yeah. I grew up with a mom and 2 sisters. My dad wasn't really there, you know. So I had a lot of female traits. I was super sensitive. Yeah. I still am sometimes. I'd be like, oh, man, like, I'm acting like a woman.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay, so you recognize that. So do you feel like households where the mum is raising boys, do you feel like that should be something that the mum should reconsider, or what do you think about that
I
situation?
do, because like I think boys need, if not their dad, like a strong male figure around. Because I had friends that daddies was around, and I was jealous, and they know how to do everything. You know, they was more manly than me because I was a little feminine, like because I grew up around women.
Yeah.
I used to fight all the time because I didn't know how to control my emotions,
Right.
and they know how to fix cars, so just manly stuff. They taught them how to manage their emotions and all the stuff I didn't get until I got older. So I think it's important for boys to have a strong male figure.
Do you remember at what age you were when you realized that, you know what, hold on, I need a bit more masculine in my life? Do you remember what point that switch kind of came around?
Shoot. About my teenage years, 13, 14.
Really?
Yeah, because
That's pretty early.
Yeah, the guy who raised my mom, like he's half black, half white. I thought he was my granddaddy. I didn't find out he wasn't my granddaddy until 2019.
Wow.
When I did the DNA stuff. And my mama finally told me the truth. He raised her. He wasn't her daddy. Because I was like, why is this dude so light-skinned? You know? And my grandma chocolate, my mom chocolate. My mom's sister is light-skinned. That's his daughter.
Right.
But, so she told me the truth. When my grandma met him, she was already pregnant with my mom. So that last name Tillery that I had, it was his.
Ah, is that why you changed your name?
I changed it to my dad's last name, Arrington.
Right.
Like I was mad. Like my sisters was even pissed. Because my mom and dad got married like 4 months after I was born. So both of my sisters got my dad's last name. And I didn't get it until this year.
Do you feel like all this stuff that has been done to you has somehow affected you? Because obviously it seems like there's a lot of secrets that have gone on. Obviously not knowing that your daughter was around until a certain age, little things have happened. Do you feel like do you feel like it's shaped you for the better, or do you feel like you've struggled because of it?
Shoot, it's probably good and bad, but I think I struggled with a lot because, my parents' generation, they hid a lot because, like, they embarrassed or they just didn't feel, you stay in a child's place.
Yeah.
So they didn't really tell us much, and I felt like I missed out on a lot. I don't know my real granddad's side of the family. Like, he's dead, and I don't know any of them.
So is that what prompted you to do a DNA test to find out where you're from?
I really did DNA test to find out where I was from in Africa. But all the other stuff popped up. I'm like, who are these people? So I asked my mom. She was like, yeah, Roy. His name was Roy Tillery. Like, he wasn't my dad. I'm like, yeah, I kind of figured that. Because he didn't treat me like he treated everybody else. Because he didn't like my mom.
Right.
So he treated, because, I was a mama's boy. So wherever she went, I went.
Right.
So he treated me how he treated her.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of stuff. And I think he had mind control. He molested my mom when she was 15. So she was like, mentally, like, scared of him.
Do you feel like you wish that you could have protected your mom more as you were growing up?
I probably kicked his ass. Like, yeah, but I wasn't even born. So my mom my mom got raped when she was 15. In North Carolina, small town, Enfield. And she had my sister, but she was born early, 7 months. But then she died in the bed, SIDS, SID.
Yeah.
So that was 1979. My mama had me at 17. Then she had my other sister at 18. And then my other sister at 20. And then she was done. So she had all three of us. We all got the same daddy. The other guy, like, he's dead. She stabbed him, like, a lot of times.
Pardon? Sorry,
She
you're just brushing over that. Like, what?
But she stabbed him, like, with a knife. Yeah, he was disabled, like, walking with a cane.
Your mom?
Yeah, my mom was crazy. She was a fighter.
Wow.
So, yeah, I just wish she never got on drugs. Like, she's smart, like, super smart. Like, book smart, super smart.
So do you think that stopped you from going down that same path because you saw the destruction that it had done for your mom?
I saw everything it was doing to her, like, because I was always there. My sisters, they was gone, so I didn't like it. It's hard for a little boy to see his mom struggle. It do a lot to you, like, mentally.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, and I didn't like men. Like, I still got a problem with men sometimes. Like, I just don't like men, how they talk to women or how they just be boasted. Like, I don't like it. But, yeah.
Wow. Have you done therapy before?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, and what do you think that they did for you?
It's good. Like, I tell even married couples sometimes, I'm like, man, it's good to do therapy. I had an ex-girlfriend. Like, she wouldn't go, but I went because it's helpful. And then, like one of my majors, like, deal with mental health and therapy, family, all that stuff. So it's good.
You have quite a few academic achievements too, right?
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you have?
So I got a master's in interdisciplinary studies. So that's a degree that you can put together. So that was mental health counseling, family counseling, life skills, and psychology. And then the other one is addiction. Go figure. You know why I did it.
Yeah.
So I did addiction. And then I got one in criminal justice. And then I got 2 bachelors in psychology. And the other one is in criminal justice.
Wow.
So I wanted to be a police.
You wanted to be police?
Well, at first it was a politician. My first major was political science. But my freshman year, I always fell asleep in class. It was boring. But, yeah, I wanted to be a police. Because, like, in our neighborhoods, none of the police looked like us. So I feel like when you got little black boys and little black girls, they tend to listen to people who look like them.
Right, absolutely.
So that was our problem. You see all these like Caucasians in our neighborhoods, and it's like they go to their nice neighborhoods and their families, and we still stuck in the slums,
Yeah.
So
I mean, I just want to commend you because it sounds like, from the way you've explained it, that you had a lot of things happen to you, but you still kind of remained and had focus. So I just want to really commend you for that, because a lot of people would have crumbled under that much amount of pressure, because it's a lot. So I just want to commend you for that. You're doing very, very well.
I think I got it from my mom. Like I never quit. I never give up, And I seen her, like, as a strong black mom struggling with her drug addiction.
Yeah.
And she never complained. Like, never complained. Wow. She did what she had to do to make it happen. And
so do you feel like Ghana is now your fresh start to?
It was a breath of fresh air when I first came here. I was like, man, like, people here think they got it bad. And some stuff, it could be way better. But I'm like, man, y'all have a lot going on here. Like, y'all don't need the UK. You don't need America. Everything you need is here. It's all about your mindset, So
what would you say to someone, just as a final question, what would you say to someone who perhaps is born and raised here, never been to anywhere in the West and wants to go? What would you say to them?
If they want to go and stay, I'll say no. But if they just want to go to try to make some money, I would still say no, unless you got somebody that you can stay with and you don't have to pay no bills.
Right.
Because you can save money that way. If you got to go work and pay rent and the government takes 25% federal and then the state takes state taxes and then they take Social Security and Medicaid and you ain't going to have no money.
Right.
So
something to think about.
Yeah, you make money, but they take more. So I was mad.
But I just want to say thank you so much for talking to me today. You have been extremely open and made yourself vulnerable, and that's not necessarily an easy thing to do. Not everybody would do that, so I really appreciate you having this conversation with me so much. So thank you so much.
No problem.
If people want to find you, where can they find you? If they maybe want to follow you, they may want to know more about you. Now we've opened up this whole can of worms.
Shoot, I don't even know my Instagram. I don't even know it.
Okay, I'll put it in the description box somewhere. Yeah.
Hey, put my YouTube too.
Oh, you got a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I got a YouTube channel. I just be doing random stuff, but...
Okay. I think people will definitely want to look in and see how you're getting along, from your backstory to, how you're going forward. So I think that would be interesting for people to follow along.
Yeah, you ain't even got to have the story. I got friends that want me to write books for years. I ain't done it yet.
Okay. Maybe you should think about that while you're here.
Probably.
But anyway, that is the end of today's interview, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed it. I think that Jasonus has been very honest, as I said, very vulnerable, made himself really open and talked about some very sensitive issues. Perhaps if there's anything you want to ask him, anything you want to say to him, you can do that in the comment section. Be nice, of course. But that is the end. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't